Bienvenidos, welcome to another episode of Spain on a Fork. In today's show, we're going to make one of the most incredible mushroom dishes ever. We're talking cheesy garlic mushrooms that just melt in your mouth. And let me tell you, not only is this recipe super easy to make and comes together in just 20 minutes, but these mushrooms are perfect as a tapas appetizer, as a side dish, or you can even pour them over your favorite protein for an incredible meal. Either way, this is what simple and delicious home cooking is all about, and truly a recipe that's going to knock it out of the ballpark. Let's begin by grabbing a large non-stick fry pan and heating it with a medium heat. Now we're not going to add any fat into the pan right now. We're just going to heat the surface while we gather our ingredients. That way once the ingredients are ready, that pan's going to be nice and hot and this dish is going to come together within minutes. I'm going to start by grabbing 6 cloves of garlic, removing the skins from the cloves, and thinly slicing the garlic. Then I'm going to grab a handful of fresh parsley, finely chop it. Finely grate 1 cup of cheese, which is 120 grams. The cheese that I'm using is a Spanish Manchego cheese that's been aged for 3 months, so it's got a beautiful bold flavor to it, but it does easily melt. However, you can use whatever type of cheese you like, but let me tell you, with the technique we're going to use in this recipe, you want to make sure to use a cheese that easily melts, otherwise it's not going to fully melt through. So if you can't find this Manchego in your area, you can also use Havarti cheese or even mozzarella. And for the final ingredient to prepare, we have the star of the show. I've got 9 extra large button mushrooms. I'm going to add them into a strainer. To make this dish, you can also use the smaller button mushrooms or even baby portobellas. Either way, I'm using 1 1/4 pounds, which is about half a kilogram. And we'll give them a quick rinse under some cold running water. Now there's some folks out there that tell you not to wash mushrooms in water. I agree and disagree with that. I do agree that you shouldn't soak them in water, otherwise they're going to absorb it, but we're not soaking them, we're just giving them a quick shower. This is going to make it so much easier to remove that excess dirt. Then we're going to transfer the strainer into a salad spinner and spin the mushrooms completely dry. If you don't have a salad spinner, no big deal. You can use pat and dry with a dishcloth. And before we start cutting the mushrooms, I'm going to give them a quick pat down with some paper towels just to ensure that all the excess dirt has been removed. And then we'll cut each mushroom into slices that are 1/4 inch thick, which is a little over 1/2 centimeter. Alright, let's move back to the fry pan. At this point, it should be nice and hot and we can start immediately cooking our dish. Once again, very important to be on a medium heat. At this point, I'm going to drizzle in 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil, which is 45 milliliters. I'm using an olive oil from Apollo. This is their Miller's favorite organic extra virgin olive oil. It has such an incredible depth of flavors. Link where you can get some in the description box below. And we'll immediately add in our sliced garlic. And it's very important that you mix the garlic around continuously. Since the pan is nice and hot, that garlic can easily turn brown, which will give it a bitter flavor. If you mix it continuously, it's going to ensure that it all evenly sautés and that it doesn't brown too quickly. After about 1 minute, and the slices of garlic have a beautiful golden fried color to them, you don't want to brown them too much. I'm going to remove the garlic from the pan and then set it aside. Now using the same pan with the same heat, I'm going to add in the sliced mushrooms. And we'll give the mushrooms a quick mix, that way they're all coated in that olive oil, and then let them sit there in a flat layer. You don't want to overmix the mushrooms, but do get in there every 60 to 90 seconds, that way they're all evenly sauteed. After about 5 minutes, and the mushrooms are lightly sauteed and tender, and as you can see, there's a lot of liquid in the pan, which is completely normal. You know, mushrooms are 92% water, so all that water content from the heat has been extracted out of the mushrooms. For the next step, we're going to heat this to a medium-high heat, and we're going to go for about 2 minutes without mixing the mushrooms. This is going to ensure that all that liquid in the pan gets reabsorbed by the mushrooms, which at the end is what gives them that incredible melt-in-your-mouth texture. After about 2 minutes, and there's virtually no liquid left in the pan, I'm going to turn off the heat, add in the garlic that we sauteed earlier, 1/2 teaspoon of dry thyme, which is about 1/2 gram, And we'll season everything with sea salt and a generous portion of freshly cracked black pepper. Then we'll give it a quick mix, that way everything's evenly mixed together. Add in the finely grated cheese, making sure it's evenly spread out. And we'll place the lid on the pan and let it sit here for a couple minutes with the heat turned off. You know, by trapping that steam in there, it's what's going to ensure that that cheese is fully melted through. That's why it's so important for this recipe to use a cheese that easily melts. And let me tell you, if you're having difficulty with that cheese melting, no big deal. Just add the pan into a broiler and let it sit there for a couple minutes or until that cheese is fully melted through. After a couple minutes, I'm going to remove the pan from the stovetop, remove the lid, and we'll sprinkle it with a generous portion of our finely chopped fresh parsley. Check it out, our cheesy garlic mushrooms are done. Such a beautiful mushroom dish that has so many great textures and flavors. And let me tell you, the beauty here is going to be the texture of those mushrooms with the technique we cook them in. They're just going to completely melt in your mouth. Easy to make, done in about 20 minutes. Let's give them a try and see how they turned out. Now is the time for the moment of truth. Let's see how these mushrooms turned out. It smells so amazing in here. Cheese pool, look at that. Here we go. Like a microphone. Drop it. That is so good. It should be illegal. Like seriously, wow. The mushrooms just melt in your mouth into that melted cheese. Take it to the next level, folks. You saw this, easy to make. Comes together in about 20 minutes in my opinion. One of the best mushroom dishes in the world. Give this a try and I promise you're gonna absolutely love it. Really quick before I go, shout out to a couple of my patrons, Sam Cohen, Kent Anderson, Michael Cole, Grace Suarez, and Amy Martinez. Again guys, thank you so much for being patrons of Spain on a Fork. You know how much I appreciate you. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to hit that like button as it really helps out the channel. Leave me a comment below and share this video with your family and friends. That way our Spain on a Fork community can continue to grow. Till the next time, hasta luego. Wow. This one is definitely, I guess I could have just taken off my microphone. This one right here and just dropped it. See you in the next video.